So today for Movie Club, we watched the movie Man on the Moon. This movie came out in 1999, and it stars Jim Carrey, Danny DeVito, and Courtney Love pops up in there. Now, this movie is a biography of Andy Kaufman. I'm not really sure if this classifies me as old or young, because I kind of remember Andy Kaufman when I was younger, because my dad used to watch Taxi like all the time. But I don't really remember him from anything else, and I vaguely remember Taxi. I just remember Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd is in it, Danny DeVito's in it, Tony Danza's in it, and Andy Kaufman's in it. The only time I really was like, who's the foreign dude in there? And then I seen this movie later on, and it was like, oh wow, everything he did was an act. To say this movie's strange would be a complete understatement. You don't know what's going on in this movie, which is why I kind of like it. Even the beginning scene is like, he rolls the credits and said, this is the end of the movie, I'm sorry, and he starts playing his music, and the credits go, and then it stops. And it's a bit. It's already a bit. That's why this movie's interesting. That kind of sets the tone for the whole movie of, you don't know what's real in this movie and what's not real in this movie. You don't know when he's playing a character or when he's faking hurt or anything. That's why his family has a lot of problems with him throughout the movie, is because they don't know what's real and what's fake. At the time, nobody really knew what to make of him, knew how to react to him, which I really liked about it. Honestly, I think the best scene in this movie is actually one of the beginning scenes when Danny DeVito is first watching him, and he's in the bar, and he's bombing. Everything he does is bombing. It's getting a little chuckle here and there, and he looks like he's panicking. He's like, okay, I'm going to do an Elvis impression now. He gets up, starts getting dressed like Elvis, and everybody kind of starts cheering him on. And then he does a flawless Elvis impression. And then Danny DeVito goes and talks to him. And he stays in character of the foreman, which is funny because he's not sure how to react to it. And then he eventually like snaps out of character and is like, I'd like to talk to you. I want to be with the biggest star ever, and this and this and this. And it's really cool. Another scene that's really good in this movie is the wrestling scene with Gerry the King Lawler. And I didn't know how long Gerry the King has been around. Shit. I used to watch WWF back in the day before it turned into WWE. I don't know if that dates me or not. Don't judge me. He does this thing where he's wrestling women and stuff, and he even sets up his own girlfriend at the time. You find out later on that you think that the king and him are feuding or have a little battle going on. He's, I'll sue you. I'll sue you. And that's even all an act. Everything in this movie is an act. So when it comes to the end, when he has cancer, they try to figure out whether it's real or fake. The news reporters don't want to report on him because they got burned by him too many times, so they don't even want to talk to him anymore. His family doesn't believe him because he was faking that he had a broken neck, so they don't know what to believe. That's the whole point of this movie. And the end scene really like caps it off is when he goes to this medicine man that pulls out the sickness from their stomachs, and he sees that it's all an act. He sees there's a squib in his hand, it's fake blood, and he's pulling out like fake guts, and he kind of laughs at the irony of it all. He actually did have cancer, and nobody really believed him, but he did die. He was only 35 years old. This guy lived a really healthy lifestyle. He was organic before organic was even a thing. So quick review on this movie. I think it's worth watching. I was gonna say it's a one-time watch, but once I watched it, I actually found myself looking into it more and found out Jim Carrey was like really fascinated with Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman was a really interesting guy. He's worth looking up and reading about. And since he was the first performance artist, really kind of laid claim to that and set the foundation for a bunch of people to come along and start doing stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think there is anybody else like him, to tell you the truth. I think he is one of a kind, and I'd say watch this movie. Let me know your thoughts on it, and let's see what we do next week. Talk to you later, Movie Club. Bye.